We are going to make the worst song possible in the best ways, or the best song possible in the worst ways. I'm here with my good friend Tristan Roberts. He's a mix engineer and, well, everything engineer here in Nashville. And like I said, he's a really good friend and an even better engineer. Check out his work. Just awesome, awesome stuff. Also in a band, we can talk about that a little bit later, Dead Before Impact. Really cool, hardcore, like metal stuff. And I'm really excited because this is the first time that we've gotten to sit down and actually like work on something together, even though we've known each other for 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We're gonna sit down with a blank slate. We know nothing of what we're about to do. We have nothing prepared. And we're gonna take the principles of songwriting and apply that to everything that's wrong about finding the right sounds. We're gonna take sounds that are maybe normal, mangle them, do weird stuff, make it sound horrible on its own, and hopefully come away with something that sounds really good in the end. A good song in all the wrong ways.
Yeah. Whatever our initial thought is of like, whenever you create a song, it's like, this is what I would do. We're going to take that and say, okay, well, let's not do that. Let's do the opposite, or let's do anything but that. It'll be an interesting, just creative kind of practice thing to do.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, if this goes well, prove the idea that you can take anything and make a song with it. One of my favorite examples, I'm pretty sure I know which artist, I'm not going to say what so I don't misquote it, but they took a sample of a pencil rolling across the table and turned that into like some of their bassist percussion loops.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I think it was Kelly Clarkson with her song Heart Song, took like the audio from her ultrasound and turned that into the kick drum for her song, which is like,
that's
creative
that's
and cool and adds something to it that's like unique. We're going to try something like that today, just not with an ultrasound.
Yeah. Unless you want to go get one. Go check on your baby, you know?
Yeah. They just hear Taco Bell.
I have a song template that I've set up. It has my entire mix template in here. We're just going to turn this and make that an inactive for now, just out of our way.
And as you can see, there's no audio on this stuff. We have not discussed what kind of genre we want. We haven't discussed
no clips,
anything up to this point. Like, we've intentionally come to this completely blank slate just to see what happens.
Yeah. I just happen to have these items in here. I have a couple instruments that, you know, maybe I use in whatever track it is, some sub layer stuff, sub drops, just, you know, things I end up doing in a lot of stuff that I do, and just like a sort of ARP, which, I mean, I doubt we'll even use any of these, but just things.
Yeah, and guys, if you're a songwriter, and especially if you're doing programming route, don't fall into the trap of what everybody says of like, oh, templates is cheating. Oh, having stuff ready is cheating. No, it's knowing your tools. It's you know, like if you're gonna do woodworking, knowing, hey, I'm gonna use a table saw. Get the table saw out. It's not cheating to have it set up.
In session setups, you look at how long it takes you to set up a session each time, and you're doing the same things every single time, truly. Outside of maybe you use a different compressor, maybe you use a different thing, maybe you use a different sound of a different plugin. But for the most part, it's even having the things named and pulled up with general things you might use. Like I rarely use these guitars, but I like to have them pulled up in case, you know, somebody wants to hear a chord on a guitar or something. We'll just, you know, there's something, right? Yeah. And it's way quicker than not having it pulled up. I also have just the quickest of drums to have something live of that aspect. And anything else, you know, we might pull loops from Splice or elsewhere. Anyway, I guess we could dive right in and say, like, I guess, what do we want to do?
That's the question.
That's the question.
Ooh.
Yeah, that could be something. Really, you could
I'm liking this.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it?
Keep that in mind.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's go with that.
Let's pull this guy. Okay. So with this loop that we have here, it's 86 BPM, whatever it is. Let's go on and pull it into the session. And I'm going to do the opposite of my template. I'm just going to drag it in and create a new track.
All right.
And just have it in here just to have, because we don't know what we're going to do with it. We don't know what it is, where it's going. Just at the bottom of the session, above the master. But I rarely ever like to use the BPM that was in the loop, which is at 86. So I just kind of want to listen to it, see.
Why? Do you find that it's just not accurate all the time?
Whenever you take a loop and you Shazam that loop, you can find an infinite amount of songs that have been used by this specifically. And granted, we're going to manipulate it in all sorts of different ways. I'm not going to use this tempo, so 86, but I like where it's kind of sitting. Maybe I use 88 or something like that. So I can kind of throw it off so that it's not the same that everybody is using if they just drop it in and run with it. So
I like it.
I like to change it, pitch it down, extend it, change it, and be different with it. But let's say I wanted to do like an 88 or something. Well, that's not what we're here to do today. We're not here to do what I would normally do.
Right.
And I hate that I'm already I don't want it to sound bad. So let's take...
Well, then let's slow it down really far.
Yeah, I think we have to. So 86, I don't know, let's say half of 86. That could be, or a quarter of 86, not even a half, but like, let's get it a quarter of the speed. So like a 20 or like a 30, just to see.
Okay.
And if it's just totally stupid, we'll cut back on it. But let's just try like 30 and just see what happens with it. Just because if it's on time or anywhere near it, maybe we auto quantize it to something. But let's just see what this sounds like. Somehow on time-ish.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing that I've ever heard either.
Okay.
So I think that means we have to make it worse.
Okay.
In some form. And it's kind of cool. It has this like kind of a distorted thing happening with it already.
It's kind of got like this almost 8-bit-ish vibe, even though it's not 8-bit. Right?
Yeah.
Because we're just stretching the samples doing this.
Yeah. So this is probably the best way that anything has actually extended, because usually whenever I do this tempo extension, it really messes things up and takes it off time. Like you can see it does kind of take it off, and that's where, maybe we auto quantize it.
Yep.
And we are just gonna stick to keeping this along, the structure or timing, and that doesn't mean we'll keep it out of key. We might keep it out of key because it could be cool, it could be interesting. So let's start there. It's auto quantized because I don't want to deal with it. We're just trying to see. Close enough for this, right? So that's fun. I don't know. Maybe we just need to pitch it down, but let's not pitch it down with like how I normally would.
How do you normally pitch it
up? So I would normally use like the actual like elastic properties and just say like a plus 12 or. Which, that's interesting now.
Ooh.
Or plus 24. So now it's breaking it. You can see all the warp lines in here.
Ooh.
That's interesting, actually.
I like that.
So that's fun. That's fun.
Pitched up 24, what was that? Was it full tones, semitones? What did we pitch?
So 24 semitones up is 2 octaves.
Yep.
So this is interesting. One thing I might do is like, man, this kind of hurts my ears a little bit, so I don't know.
Okay.
So now we have a hi-hat out of a drum loop. So
this is reminding me a lot of like texture-wise of like sticks. If you remember like Mr. Roboto from like the 80s.
Oh yeah. So that's interesting. Maybe this is like this like old Matrix soundtrack type thing that we end up doing.
Yeah.
This like technological kind of thing, industrial. So if we could probably go off of that and say, okay, well, what's next, right? So it could be keys, it could be strings, it could be building out the rest of the drums. Like if we need some sort of kick of something, I don't know. And I could say, let's find something, I don't know, just any kick that we can probably make to be something, or I don't know, maybe, is it a distorted kick? Do we want to find some sort of...
I think we distorted ourselves. Let's take something normal, and let's just make it, or take something that's not a kick and turn it into a kick, right?
Yeah, we could very well do that. I hate that this is a stereo kick, so that means I think we have to use it.
Okay.
Doesn't mean it won't be in tandem with something else. I would never use a stereo kick myself.
No, I don't like it.
Right?
Why do you not like it? Tell people, why do you not like it?
I'm usually rolling off the sides of things to where I don't have low end in the sides. So today, I guess we're going to have all the low end in the sides.
Okay.
maybe I pair that with another kick. Maybe I throw 30 other kicks in here and combine it. You know, I don't know. But usually I only use 1 or 2 kicks in a song. But let's say, I don't know, let's base it off this. So let's see. I guess I'm soloed here. So interesting. Okay. So I don't think that's stereo enough. I think we need to make it more stereo.
Thinking doing some mid-side stuff?
I'm not sure if this would be mid-side, because I think if I'm going to make something more stereo, I kind of want it to do something weird and kind of crazy.
Okay. All right.
Like if I'm going to do it here, I think we do it really phasey, or we do it in a real, just like kind of way that wouldn't be mono compatible.
Okay.
I don't know. So
Ooh.
That sounds better already. I just kind of threw that on there. But if our goal is worse, I don't know.
What if we did like some weird like auto panning?
Some weird auto panning with it?
Yeah, I would never auto pan a kick.
So if we threw like some auto panning on here, and my usual preset, which we can't use, and that's taking too much away from it there. Let's see what it's doing here. Let's just toss some 4 on the floor and just kind of see. Perhaps not 4 on the floor, but
yeah,
several kicks. Of course, pretty good thing. Amateur hour. Let's do this.
Yep. I like it. It's weird.
That's
we're not getting the kick on the same side every time.
So every bar. So that's what I see, 1 bar rhythm. Yeah, why not? I don't know what this tweak knob does in this. So let's just see what we got here. This might be the lengthiest drum loop, timing wise, that I've ever tried to create. Fat, squash, dirt, crunch, shred. And what tempo did we say we were at? We went from 86 to 30, but let's not use 30 because I hate that. I don't know. Let's go like 30, 60, 90 maybe.
Okay.
That could be crazy.
All right.
Is that 3 times up? That won't work. Let's do... Is 120 dead on? Are we just dead on 120 right now?
Right now on tempo map, yeah.
With the math of it, that's kind of crazy because we never changed it. The auto setup.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So now we're doing pop. So now that we know that.
All right. So if you're doing pop, what's the next thing that you go to when you're writing?
What are you doing pop here? Let's find an 808. Let's find some sort of 808, or we could pull from just this whatever sub I have set up here, just from some preset pack I have, just happen to have. Just also, why not? And we'll just run with whatever it is, right? So just not the worst thing in the world. Just make it end whenever I hit the keys.
Can you add like a? Because let's mangle this a little bit. Normally, okay, you're on a triangle wave right now. What if we did like a sawtooth instead? Yeah.
That's disgusting.
It's horrible.
We have to use it. That's even worse. Well, whatever that is fun.
There's our sub. All right.
Now I hear this and I'm like, man, I really want that to be like a mono sub, and I don't think we can do a mono sub, at least not on this one.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe we duplicate it and make that one a stereo. And why not just use that weird thing we were doing? Yeah. Just micro shift it. And I don't know, let's just see about a sine wave on this other bass here to give us some sort of flow end with that. Because
yep.
I think what I'm wanting to do to this is just completely decimate it, which we have options.
Oh, okay.
So harmonics, we can look at all sorts of different stuff, right? Like there's dirt, there's bite. Bite is, we talked about 8-bit earlier, so I don't know, maybe we just get rid of, maybe it's like the worst thing ever. Like
let's do 7. Nobody does 7.
Okay.
Let's do 7.
Let's listen to it while we go. So we'll just.
Whoa.
That's kind of sick, but now it's dubstep. Not quite. I'm totally clipping everything in life.
Yep.
As this goes.
As you should.
But, this is also an opportunity to learn what these kinds of things do.
Yeah,
as well.
Experimentation is important.
Right. Just turn in every knob, just see what happens, you know? That could be fun to automate.
Yep.
That could be something.
I think there's something there.
I dig the 7 bits, but let's just see what the rest sound like.
All right, I got an idea on the automation.
Disgusting. Just. Right?
2-bit, whoa.
Yeah, you can tell what's happening. It's just, you're really only hearing...
That is nasty.
I don't know. Let's just stick with 7.
Right.
Why not?
It's a weird number.
We're here. So, I don't know. Let's see pop. So, I hate how slow it feels for 120.
Yeah, it needs to speed up just a little bit.
For sure. I don't know. Maybe let's do like a perk loop of some sort. Find a range of like 110 to 128. Why not?
Love it.
So that we can find things near it, not exactly on it. And I'm going to loop this little section here that we have. Maybe we look for like an experimental,
Okay.
or instead of me typing it, let's see if I can find it in the tags here. Modular or something, experimental. We'll run with that.
Interesting.
That's fun. I like that. I hate that.
I do too, but you know.
In the spirit, why
spirit.
not? We have it.
All right.
It's 116. Why not? We'll take something I kind of liked to start with. We'll run with both. Let's toss them both in here. Let's just make it a mess.
All right.
And let's find, more. That's a fun top-end thing that I kind of hate.
Penguin,
so let's toss that in there and make it extremely stereo for no reason. Oh, okay.
What?
Whatever that is.
We got a bed now.
So now we have a full track. That's a fun thing.
It is.
That's all right. So let's go ahead and change everything to the tempo. Boom, there it is. And we're going 122, 120. All right, that's probably close enough. I might go on and just do some sort of auto quantize. Sometimes it makes it better, sometimes it makes it worse. With everything else we have. That's kind of sick as a thing.
Okay.
So I think we have to mess with it more.
I think we do.
Let's go ahead and get everything else in here first. And kind of.
And everybody, as you're watching this, if you've noticed, Tristan is flying around this session. This just goes to show the importance of knowing key commands, because he's doing a lot with his mouse, sure, but most of this is all from practice and experience with that left hand on the keyboard flying around. As you've noticed, he's duplicated tracks, or duplicated clips. He's going up and down with both volume as well as the clip gain, which is really important. I think a lot of people kind of skip over clip gain.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's feeding all of your plugins if you're doing clip-based, audio file-based stuff. If you have a clip that's clipping, turning that volume down is not going to help you with any of your plugins clipping or not. So clip gain it's important.
I always like to start with clip gain, and this is the one thing that I would have wished that I started with clip gain. I already have that down 8.6. It's easier when you have so many clips. I always hate what this does, and maybe I don't know what it does, but
creates all those.
It creates all these things whenever I use clip gain once I've already copied it out.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. Maybe I start here.
But over time, that will bog down your system. Yeah. I was actually doing a session the other day where I wasn't doing clip gain automation, but I was time aligning drums. And I made a ton of these little proxy files. And eventually it was like, hey, you've got so many in this. You should probably consider clearing out the unused ones because it's going to slow down your machine. I'd never seen that before in Pro Tools about that many clips. I'd seen many other crashes and many other warnings, but not that one.
I have gone and taken a session from here and brought it to other studios where they didn't have quite a strong computer.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm running is just massive. I can do so much with it. But I've had a bunch of inactive enabled tracks, a bunch of things. All of my clips are still there. Instead of deleting all the unused and just doing what I needed for the day, I tried to open that session and it crashed their computer. They couldn't handle it.
Oh, man.
And I had to go and figure out, okay, well, now I have to figure out how I can open this session so where it's not going to crash and that I can actually get all those clips out so I can deal with the day. And that was horrible.
It's important too when you go to a brand new place to know what you're walking into, like what system do they have. Like there was one time I was promised a Pro Tools rig and everything, and I get there and the guy had to re-download it onto his computer, and it was his personal computer, and in the end, it turned out to be Pro Tools first. And I was doing some pop punk stuff with over 100 tracks that I suddenly had to get down to under 16, and that also included the tracks I was recording, like my overdubs. So.
Yep. Nowadays, what you can use, if you have a Pro Tools subscription, you've got the cloud-based version of that, or bring in your own iLock to where you could download whatever software you want on another person's computer, studio, whatever it is, so long, with their permission. And you can actually just pull up your subscription, log into your cloud, just run it off that. That's what's cool about that. But yeah,
it pays to know.
If you're expecting something different when you're going, it's never good. I probably would have canceled the session and just said, sorry guys, it's not going to work. We have to book somewhere else. The worst thing I've ever heard, that's for sure. That's awful.
How can we mangle this and come away with a product we like?
My first instinct is to just throw them all on a bus and mangle them all together.
Okay.
But I can't go with my first instinct here, so we're going to do it individually and use every plugin under the sun.
See, that's...
and the one thing I'm not vibing with is this guy here. Because this just kind of sounds goofy.
It does.
I don't think we're going for goofy. I think we're going for bad. So we have to... Which, bad, subjective. But let's find, I don't know, Byte was cool, but we've already used that. So let's find something different.
Hold on. Before we mangle the actual audio itself, let's, I think what's goofy about this to me is how long some of those initial kind of things are. Like the beginning there. What if we double time this?
Okay.
We slowed stuff down, but we haven't really sped anything up.
Okay, let's do, this is at 120, so.
Let's make it 240.
Yeah. Let's do that. I might like that better.
Interesting. Okay.
Still garbage.
It is. It is.
Let's see. There's something interesting about this that's happening here. So I don't know, maybe it is just taking that and maybe...
Just that one piece?
Just that one little piece. I don't know. Let's just throw it everywhere. We'll see where it lands here in a moment. That may be all we do.
Okay.
So we could also, if we're messing with things, maybe we mess with the actual pitch of this.
Okay.
Just say, I don't know, like, see what 4 up. Maybe let's just go an octave. Now, let's see. Maybe, I don't know, some TCE, some tender love and care, is that what they say?
I wouldn't describe it that way, but...
So, I don't know, we'll just sped that up, whatever that's going to be.
Okay.
I don't know, that's interesting.
It is interesting.
I don't know, let's just... let's see, like 22. Huh?
Oh,
Let me just turn it down. I don't know. Maybe this one little piece we could just distort the crap out of with something.
all right.
Here's, I guess, an amp knob plugin that we could use from. Let's see. So that's
Ooh.
fun. I'm not going to change any knobs at all.
Just go with it.
I don't know. Maybe max it. Yeah, why not? Why not? And I don't know. Let's just audio sweep some verb onto that too, because I have no idea what this is going to do. And just render whatever's there. That's kind of sick.
All right.
I don't know. Let's turn up the mix knob and just do it again instead of undoing. Sure, why not? This is fun. I don't know. Maybe we.
My inclination here would be to throw it to a delay, which you're
put it right on it instead of throwing it to a delay, because I would normally just throw it to a delay.
You're right. I will take this reverb, delay it, reverb it again.
Definitely could. Feedback needs to be up. That's what it is. All right.
Okay, there we go.
It's interesting.
Keep on time with the song.
I don't hate what's happening.
I don't?
I don't know. Let's throw it to another verb.
Okay.
But it can't be a regular verb. We have to do something
like,
to it.
I would almost go to like something like Valhalla, Supermassive, if you're familiar with that one.
Ooh, I actually do have that one too. Is the fun thing. That's one of the only Valhalla plugins I have.
It's
interesting
just got
enough.
some weird tones to it.
So we're sending to that, and I don't know. Let's turn down the original and just crank the send. Why not? Just see what's happening. And instead of using presets, let's just push knobs and see what happens.
Throw some warp.
Yeah, we'll throw some warp in there. That's the one I really would just want to touch.
Yeah.
I also would just want to see like what are these modes going to need to do
I've never
before I
really
touch
messed with
that.
the modes.
So I don't know.
Some automation there could be fun.
Some great automation things we could do with that as well. Or maybe even mod rates could be just, I don't know, that's frequencies, so. Low.
What is
EQ, okay, and then it's just, I don't know how we could reset that. Double clicking, I suppose. Presets, great annihilator. Let's check. It's interesting. Width.
Oh. Weird. Alright.
So these are totally just experimental. I'm just going to turn down that verb there because why not? That's never how I do it. I'm going to make gain staging nightmares happen because I think that's the goal.
Yep.
So, you know.
Let's listen to all of this real quick. Get us back in context.
Let's see where we're at. Give it a little 4. Soloed. Billie Eilish next hit.
Okay.
So let's look at this vocal now. Let's see.
This is so different. If you're watching this, drop us down in the comments what you think of this so far. What is your next step? Like, if you're the one in control, you're behind the keyboard, what's the next thing you're doing? Let us know.
Where I'm at right now, we're going to have to mess with that vocal.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with that vocal. I want to find a kick of some sort to kind of really drive this home. And we're just going to make something work. And this should be close enough. Here's this guy. Why not? Just some sort of trappy kick. We're in pop, right? So it's got to be trappy. Unless it's country. Country's big right now. But maybe they do need more trap kicks.
You can never have enough.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's just add some different rhythms here instead of just what we were doing. I don't know what these are going to sound like, but... I'm going to change that grid up. Just can't be editing percussion in any sort of, quarter note grid.
No, it's too easy.
Yeah, it's too easy. It's too much.
What if we throw on a triplet grid in a minute?
Triplet? Yeah, absolutely. We'll just...
Or dotted.
I was thinking about dotted.
Never use dotted. But dotted...
I have in the past. I've created songs in ways that I shouldn't have. And I hate this, so dotted it is. Ooh, that's very legato. Everything behind the beat. It's like barely where you want it to be. Half of it's on, half of it's off. Yeah.
I'm digging it though.
I don't hate it.
I think we can loop that. Yeah,
I think we need some sort of clap.
We do.
Or snare, which I like to. You can go back and forth on either.
Okay, so question: before we use a clap, what else could we use instead of a clap? What's totally wrong that would not be a clap that we can turn into a clap?
You could use some fun things I've done are is a scream you can make. I've turned it into a hi-hat. I've turned it into different things.
Okay.
And this honestly hyper pop and in like funk, even like the Brazilian funk type things, they'll use different weird sounds. And this could be potentially our clap of the sense, which
I actually like that one.
You could totally overdo it. This is just the first one we popped up with. So.
But that has a vibe.
Yeah, there's something to it. And it's going to be loud. So we're going to clip that down. Or maybe we don't. Let's max it out. Let's just turn it up. Why not? Clip the track before the plugins. Just turn it way down. Turn it down even more. Maybe not so hard on that.
Yeah, we're clipping our record outs like crazy with that.
Nuts. Okay, well, now we need something for it to clip into.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Let's a compressor maybe. Sure. Why not? Just anything will do.
Okay. You like compressors. I like compressors. Yeah. We're familiar with a lot of the ones that we typically go to if we want to really make something gnarly. What's something that you think of if you want something gentle? And let's clip that instead.
Okay. If I'm going to do something gentle or transparent, even I might use like the C2,
sure,
or even like an LA2A for like a slower attack kind of thing. That one I feel like people clip more often than not.
Yeah.
So let's just.
What about one of your tube techs?
One of the tube techs could be something. Those always sound terrible clipped. So let's do it. Let's just search it for tube tech. I always use the Mark II, so let's just use the Mark I.
Okay.
Pull that guy up. Looks terrible. Great. Let's imagine that's probably the first plugin they came up with.
That's interesting how with that slow attack, it's sending it backwards, which is kind of cool. Hi there, puppy. Oh,
sorry about that. Let's see if we can put some sort of trim after that, because we are going to do that. Gain stage and nightmare.
Oh, I like the breakup at the end.
It's even even distorting the reverb.
Yeah.
I wonder if there was a way we could distort just the reverb. Interesting thoughts. Yep. So now you could start thinking, well, how could we do that?
Yep. So
this is where you could do like a parallel send.
Parallel send where you automate into it.
Mm-hmm. Or you definitely could.
automate your gain output to ride up with as the clip is going down. I wouldn't do that.
Very good.
I don't think.
I think I would do that in this situation.
Okay.
And so what if instead of doing that, this is probably what I would have done. Oh, exactly. Disgusting, right?
I don't like this.
Yeah.
I feel wrong.
When you start out in music, you duplicate tracks. You just throw things wherever they go and you say, okay, well, where's the reverb tail? I don't know. It's around here-ish. So I don't know. Let's distort that. And
that feels wrong.
yeah, I don't know. Let's just toss this Fab Filter Saturn on here. It's just a different something. A broken tube. I don't know.
Okay.
Ooh, that's nuts.
Very EDM kind of inspired here.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Maybe we keep that. We can turn this back up just a tad. So now, what would happen here if we brought that other piece back into it, maybe backed off of this, because maybe we don't want to distort that little piece as much, at least. So now that we've done this weird thing, and I've also, messed up the whole thing here by messing around with it. So we're just gonna, just cut it off. Oh, that's fun, right?
Totally not what I would do. Yeah.
I would never do this because now you have all this work. But now I want a reverb tail to kind of like merge the two together.
Yep. And you're throwing it right on the track, which hurts me a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But
absolutely.
We're doing it the wrong way.
Absolutely.
If you're watching this, don't follow our process. And don't do this at home unless you're trying to make something bad. Because if you're doing reverbs, and I know there's a million videos out there that say this, but there's also a million that don't, put your reverbs on this end if you're doing this for real. Unless you're trying to do unless you're trying to do something funky and different, right?
Yeah, you'll save a lot of processing power. It'll save you time, save you energy, and you get way more control whenever you put it on a send.
Yep.
So we're not about control. We're about making things sound bad.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
All right.
Whatever's happening here.
All right.
So, I don't know. Maybe we want that tail a little bit. And my hotkeys are getting in my way now. That's almost a cooler swell. And there's other ways to do this. You would sidechain it, but we're just going to fade it because why not? So many easier ways to do this process, but this is all for the sake of creativity and doing things that we would never touch, never do. And I am going to just leave it in this dotted 16th note grid.
All right. Let's hear it back in context again.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so disgusting. So disgusting. Right. And we'll just...
I think we're onto something.
Let's take that dotted 16th note grid out of there for the sake of rhythm. For the sake of rhythm. This is the...
Ooh, I like the return of the what?
Disgusting track ever.
All right.
So let's just find this sub here.
All right.
Just...
Which I think that, yeah.
Why not? Let's get rid of some stuff here. Ooh, I don't know.
Maybe we go back down. Dum dum. Okay. Nope, I like that.
Do something off time.
Sarah. Yeah. Go to that.
It's hard to hear the key on some of these weird things here.
It is, but I think you're on it.
So we'll take this, I don't know, copy paste to whatever this was that we did earlier, probably the low end bass.
Yeah.
We've got a sub layer here that we haven't even looked at.
Well, it's just just play it.
So that's our sub. It's going to be insanely hot. See, it's weird. It sounded terrible before, and then we added in just like a few notes, and it's kind of coming together as something.
And this is all just unison notes. These aren't even like chords.
Yeah,
these are
just
just a single note copied for 3 different sounds.
Yep, and this is one thing. And I don't love what's happening here because we did just copy and paste, right? So I'm gonna just bring that down an octave, which shift down. And there's options there. Maybe we do make one that's just entirely just too low. So why not?
Okay.
Let's just see what that's gonna sound like.
Ooh.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe distortion, find some best effects. It's got some on there. Let's just hear that for the sake of this.
Ooh. Ugly. So yeah.
Ugly. There we go. I don't know. There's something cool about the distortion, how it breaks up, and like it's almost like a time-based like.
It is.
Right.
So gives us some rhythm, which we didn't intend, but it's working.
While I'm thinking on that, like what if we just kind of exaggerated that with some sort of like tremolo type deal? Okay. So.
Ooh.
But more to what they were doing. So something like that. So you could potentially create your own synth style like that with distortion and kind of just like add this sort of thing.
You know, you're going to have people thinking that their speakers are blown with this.
Oh, absolutely. That's the goal. And whenever you listen to it, you're going to hear all this distorting and clipping. You're going to think that your speakers are rattling out. But whenever you look at them, you listen to them, they're not. And it's such a weird concept.
Dig this. Let's take one. Maybe this isn't on this instrument, but let's take a plugin, create some notes for it, maybe a third or a fifth above or something like that. Something basic music theory. But let's tweak the plugin without ever hearing it. Create our sound and roughly stick with it without ever hearing till we hit play.
Okay.
Because, I'm not doing that.
So let's see.
Especially not in front of an artist as I'm trying to write with them.
Oh, absolutely.
That's like it's a PR nightmare.
You never know what you're going to end up with. And one good way to do this would be just open up Serum and just kind of push buttons because it's one of those things where it's like there's so many things in there. Mm-hmm. We could also base it off of names of plugins, of names of instruments in plugins. Mm-hmm. In Machine, I couldn't tell you what any of them do in there based off their name.
Okay.
So many random ARPing type things.
Right.
That could be something. But if you're wanting to dial in like a sound of some sort.
Let's do like a monophonic like melody line.
Yeah.
Like a like almost ARPy, but
Something I might do. We had that ARP in here, right? We had that Serum ARP. That could be something It's kind of set up for something cool already. It's cool that it does that kind of glide down with it too. So I don't know. Let's you said what like a fifth above it, something that's an insanely low one. I'm just gonna copy and paste because that's the theme of the day. So
that's on C, so up to G would be the starting note.
All right.
If we're doing a fifth.
Fun. I don't know. Let's just see what other. Ooh, what was that? It's gliding down because it's a monophonic, right?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
all
you see, that's,
Yeah. Okay.
I love that. That's interesting.
I dig it.
So I don't know, maybe, let me see what's going on here. So I'm going to turn that down. Such a weird growly thing. What would it sound like if we added a filter to it?
Ooh, and you're using air.
Yeah, the air vintage filter. So a lot of interesting things here. That's for sure. Here's some phasey thing going on with it here. Oh. Interesting. What have we done? Definitely causing feedback here with the resonance. So that's fun. Interesting. Let's distort our normal sub while we're in here. Just, I was going to go to a go-to, so let's not do that.
And this is the kind of stuff we don't get to always do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because like,
Oh, yeah, no.
it's creative, it's weird, it's wacky. But like we said earlier, you know, if you're sitting there with an artist right behind you, they're not going to want to sit through this, and they're going to be like, "What are you doing? This is not what I want. This is not."
Yeah, you play one wrong sound in front of an artist or something. You're even just playing through snares. They hear something they don't like. They say, no, don't do that. Don't do this. Don't do that. And it's very much, you almost have to play the perfect sound that they want to hear before they even say what they want to hear. So like, it has to be, you want to have your 10 things that you love and that you use all the time that are just there, ready, and you know are tried and true and work every time.
And it goes back to to what you mentioned earlier, you know, or what we were talking about, you know, having a template set up. Know your tools, have it there, because you don't want to lose working with an artist because you played something that you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to work. You know, sometimes some artists are okay with that, but a lot of times they're just there to make a song. They don't want to sit through the experimentation.
The most important thing is to keep things moving,
right?
No matter what. That's fun. I kind of want to take this, not hide it or get rid of it, but take this and just duplicate it. And I do want the playlist on there, so I'm just going to toss that in. And I'm going to keep this the same, but I want to put this on something polyphonic. And I have something in particular in mind. Maybe not an exact instrument.
All right, going back to
the old
the
software,
the OG Pro Tools days.
Oh yeah, and
everybody's beginning place.
It always looks like it wants to crash, and then it doesn't with Expand. Yeah. Same thing with Contact. I don't know why it's not. It can't be that power hungry, right? But I don't know. Let's go through presets. Let's find something. If I'm looking for something ARPy, because I think I want to do something ARPy.
Yeah,
and that's why I pulled this up.
We need something with a little more movement.
Yeah, something with movement, and I'm going to create that movement. And something, I like to use soft items. So like the synth brass, I could find something like this might be something that's kind of a, I don't like that it's panning.
There's one called Duck.
Duck? And
I think, yep, 20.
20. Let's just do like I don't know. So I hate that. So I don't know. Let's find a speaking song. Oh, even worse. even worse. These have the worst and best sounds.
What is breathing metal?
Breathing metal? I think exactly what it says.
Huh.
It's like if metal was breathing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You probably censor a lot of the fun stuff here, like something like that could be fun.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's just see. And something I might want to do, what I do with Expand is just play with cutoffs. I think I got rid of it there. And you know, why not? I never use the reverbs and delays and things in here, so let's see. It's probably not too crucial with the sound here. Yeah, why not? So let's find I saw galloping, galloping something in here.
Gallop echo.
Ooh, stereo delay, ping pong. Why not? Gallop echo, ping pong.
I like ping pong. That's fun.
Let's see what effects one is. Just something super ambient. Why not? And, you know, we could peel away layers, we could add more layers, we could add thousands of different things. And
here's a thought. As a point of like music idea, I would almost hear like a quarter note like track ha 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 kind of thing.
Okay.
But you know, a lot of people use voices for that. Kind of the ahs, oohs, the whatever.
Mm-hmm. So what if we did it with something else that's not?
Yeah, it's not a voice.
Let's see.
You know.
I don't know. Let's open up Contact and see what we have. Let's just find something because there's so many different things in here that are like voice related as well.
So last night I was in a session and the idea of like using like a xylophone or like a vibraphone came up. Could we turn something? Because that's not at all this genre at all. So, but it's on my brain, right? So I wonder if there's something like that we could bring in.
So we have this weird mallet. And here are the single notes that we can pull up here. And actually, I see this Jacob Collier audience choir here.
Yep.
That we might have to open up just to see, to play with, because that was a free giveaway there that you could just grab. So
nice.
Of course, the mallets are going to break everything we love, and I'm just going to find where that's at.
We don't have it enabled yet.
Ah, of course. Super subtle.
Could we change the attack envelope to get rid of the attack? And it's all just like wah, wah.
Bowed.
Okay.
Or reverse. That could be something.
Yep, I'm down for that.
So, I don't know, see where we're at. see what this does.
I think we need something a little faster, though.
I think so.
Like I'm thinking quarter notey, because this is half notes, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Something that can tuck in there just to move it along.
Let's see. Okay.
Ooh,
It's fun.
doing like a... Okay.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's an interesting, weird way to do something.
It's kind of, what is it, toy boxy?
Very toy boxy. And we actually we have some plugins we can pull straight from like the kinetic toy box type things. But let's see, because you wanted it to be more of this like swelly kind of thing, right? Or was it?
I was hearing like a wah, 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 wah kind of idea.
I have a thought on that. And it may not be this instrument now. So, but I just want to kind of... So we can automate something, anything to really do that. But I hate how harsh that instrument is of a thing. So maybe, and I always love like those brass and the expand for like this sort of thing, but or any sort of like analog brass type. Potentially something like that could be swelled in an art kind of a way. This is going to take us 17 hours to create this one thing. Of course, you have to peel back layers and then make it sound half decent as well. But that's an interesting
fun delay.
It's got a little something to it. But let's see. Let's pull up some automation. See, do the cutoff. I don't care about anything else. I don't think. So let's find this. Let's go find our pen tool and just do something random just to see what.
Go full random.
Just see what happens. Oops, that was the wrong spot. But we could have drawn it there either way. But wow. Okay, it changes randomly every single bit I move it. Quite a bit. Let's get out of that. And we don't have any notes there. So let's put something in. I don't know. Just pull the chords down just for the sake of having chords there. That's interesting. I hate the randomness, but that's good if you want to come up with ideas for anything. And I set to blocks, but it needs to be set to clips. Remember back in the day when they called it regions. And maybe that's our starting point. And let's just say we want to, for each one, like, I don't know, do something like that. Why not? I'll start it lower. Kind of like that.
It's different.
Kind of like that. Why not? It's all different.
Yep.
It's all going to be different. And now with this, whenever we copy and paste, it's going to have some weird issues because of that little guy.
Not
Maybe
overly out of it.
That's actually fine. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Don't love the chords.
Yeah, I think it needs a different part, but
For sure.
The sound.
For sure. As far as sound goes, though. So that's an octave down where we were. Let's go. Mute this for a moment. Let's just see where we're at. So what I like to do is if at any point I can hear lyrics over something, you can kind of fit the direction. So. So maybe that's like a verse kind of thing, and then we can go into the chorus. So whatever is here, probably change up and do something a little different with that. So if we're thinking of this as a verse, maybe we strip it away a little bit more, and we have this loop here. So I'm just going to probably duplicate all of this over into that next section.
Yep.
So we'll make it...
And then start muting out in the first.
Make it bigger. Yep. And we'll say, okay, if that's verse, so like what can we get away from? Let's get the voice out. Yeah, don't hate that. I wonder if we just get rid of our like panned kick for this section too. Maybe what do we have? I love like all the perk loops because it allows you to strip away so much. And I do this a lot in productions. I'll have 3 or 4 or 5 different perk loops, and at the end of the song, it's just this big massive thing. So like this one specifically, that's just this like little pinging thing. So you can just
ear candy, but it's not necessary. So.
Yeah. So I'll probably strip it back to just have one sort of perk loop. And then there's the vocal hum. You'll notice I've kept like no track of where anything is. Nothing's organized.
Yeah.
The most organization that I've done here is just putting it at the top of the session. We could almost just put a cutoff filter on all of this.
Yep.
On all of this. Just lump it all into one thing, call it an intro. Put it on the master, wherever. That's my least favorite thing to do is whenever people put things on the master, like a cutoff filter. Yeah, this little piece is just such a cool little addition here.
It is.
Because whatever this is almost like a guitar of some sort. And
it sounds like Godzilla.
We could, kaiju noises is what I always reference whenever they do things like that. So I don't know. Let's look at a pitch shift thing for this because I think I could do something interesting. Just I don't know. So like we could do all sorts of things with this. Super trashy, super rhythmic, and we could go to the master bus and distort everything all together too, and just do the opposite of that. And oh man, everything is just limitless with this. So let's see what would we do to separate the verse from the chorus. So we have it separated here. So we need some sort of riser of some sort. I don't know. We have this like vocal one shot that we've been using that could be kind of cool in where it has been. It's very much just like this offbeat kind of thing. Well, let's just let's just change it. For the chorus, and we have this. This is not lined up how it was at all. Let's just see what it does. Cool. So what if we reverse this and create a riser out of this, right? So let's just let's do a reverse. And I have the reverse audio suite pulled up because that's part of my template. So There we go. I'm just going to kind of line it out somewhere. So, and that's could be a cool thing. We probably need to do that with a lot of other things to kind of make that work. I don't know what this is, but let's throw this on another track as well. So we'll just, I don't know, duplicate this one. Why not? Leave all the same settings. And I'll take it, put it here-ish. Throw that in, just almost does nothing because of the echo. Let's see without it. So that's probably adding less than is
pitch it
needed.
up.
What would you say?
Let's pitch it up.
Pitch it up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
totally
part
good.
of why it's not doing that is just because it's a little lower.
Yeah, let's see. Put that over there. It kind of has that kind of like build into it, which is nice. So that's
interesting.
cool.
It's different.
It's cool. I wonder if we could do that with the percussion too. I usually don't do things with percussion like that. But because of that, let's see. I don't know. Let's see what this does. Do another duplicate. Why not? Why not? As I go, I would probably name these different things. And,
Yeah.
I closed out my audio suite. That's what I'm not. I don't like that. Yeah. Boom. Disable that so it stays. So what was that? All right. So let's reverse that. And
Ooh.
this specifically going into it is massive for going into the new sections. And then what you can do, I don't know, there's other ways to do it. I could just fade it, maybe automate it up, but I don't know, let's just fade that and cut it back. So now we have this kind of, it's building into this next section. Maybe we need something else. So I don't know, screams, we could get endless screams. Let's see, experimental something. I don't know, just random sounds of just. All right, let's go experimental transitions. Why not? And just see what somebody else has come up with. Ooh, disgusting. Yeah, all right.
Sounds like a commercial. Sounds like they're trying to get you to buy a.
Ugh. Seems like radio noises are experimental. Instead of that, let's look at genres like hyper pop, because they always have the most interesting types of things. Fun. Does that go with anything we're doing here?
Yes. Snare.
Some
Ooh.
drum rolls. Yeah, that's fun. Let's go hyperpop riser. Just see what we're doing for this. Breaths. Breaths are always fun. Why not? Let's throw a breath in there. Feedback guitars. Yeah, that's fun. It's fun. Why not? So we've got 2 risers. That should be enough for this, if not more than enough. And I'm just going to drop them in, create new tracks. Because we're going to do this the hard way, not the easy way. So at least keep it near some of the things in here. And I always like to drag it over the line. I don't like it to be a hard cutoff.
Yeah, me too.
And then I'll usually chop off the end of it, just so it's not super abrupt. Just drag it right over the line, just fade it out a little bit. Helps it, and everything else just kind of build up without just being the biggest of things. So, and then, you could always reverse these and make it your impact on that next section as well. Actually, let me cut that off, scoot it over. Boom. I don't know. Let's just see what these are going to sound like if I turn these down first. I'm dragging things in here, and I just grouped these because I'm lazy. So I will end up with 1,000 groups by the end of my sessions because of that. 1,000 unnamed groups. And we'll just see what happens here. That sounds kind of cool with the scream in there too. It makes me want a second scream. So let's see here. You can even do cutouts. You can do all sorts of stuff to get into this. So we can't repeat the same chords. Of course, I mean, we can the same chords, but let's just make them whole notes.
Simple, effective.
Yeah, so that's a chorusy thing we do. Why not? Just for about speed on this one to do it a little faster of what I would for these sort of things. I'd be a little bit more creative. So let's start there.
I like the octave up, actually. It brings, I mean, because these haven't been dropped back down to where the others were.
Right.
It gives it that, like, lift.
It gives it a little lift here. And if I'm to really do this, you know, I would go ahead and drop it, and maybe I'd add other octaves to it. So then we have, you know, 3 octaves. I don't know if this is monophonic or polyphonic, so we'll see what it does. Yeah, sick.
Love it.
And maybe I even just keep it there as well. So we'll just push it over the line. So if we do that, we have to do it on the rest as well. So I'll just pop down here and just go ahead and get that there. And do the same here. And I know I'm tabbing in and out. You can also just select from that MIDI list, which it is showing tracks right here. Ah, there it is. So we could actually push these all up here, but I just like to do it that way.
Ooh.
So that crossed over a little more than I wanted, whatever that was. I think it's because I drug them all out. So let's see if we have any more issues like that. Looks good. Same issue here, but that might be cool. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, a little bit of glide is never
different.
A little bit of glide is never a bad thing. Maybe we incorporate some of that too.
Maybe.
Let's see.
All right.
Maybe we change up the drum loop here as well.
So what if chorusy, right? So 4 on the floor.
Could be.
You know, arrangement-wise, it's a simple thing to do.
Yeah, just toss something in here. Just see. So that's great if I want to do like a pre-chorus to me, because that's
true. Yeah, it's a little
momentum.
too...
So let's see here. Let me just take it out and see what I'm feeling. So. And let's take some sort of snare, some ambient snare of some sort, or maybe that like water drop that we heard earlier.
I like the water drop. That was fun. Yeah.
See where like a water drop would be cool too, right?
Mm-hmm. Is your mic set up and ready to go?
The mic?
Yeah, is your mic set up and ready to go?
I mean, it can be. You gonna hop on there?
Water bottle.
Oh, you totally could. Yeah, let's run it. Yeah, it's super quick. Just angle it wherever you want it to be.
Okay.
And let me see. Yeah, it should be on. And
this is fine. I won't hit my head at all.
No, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. So let's get the track for you. I'll steal the water.
Steal your drink, man.
I happen to have some like vocal record tracks, which all I'm going to do is just enable that to record. And let's see
ASMR.
here. I'm just going to solo it out, and we'll just let's record something. So you should be good. Let's get a couple more. Cool. All right, keep doing that. I'm just going to crank the signal here.
I'm gonna let out just a little bit of air so I have more.
Oh, disgusting. All right. So that should be enough of that. Set my stuff back down there. All right.
Yeah, there should be something in there we can use.
Oh yeah, and that could be.
Ooh.
So that's kind of cool. I already have a reverb on there, so it's kind of a so there's all sorts of stuff we can do with that. I might just take that one, but I don't know. Let's that could be a stomp for something.
Yeah, it could.
Just a cool. That's a great clap. That's a great clap, you know? Like all the little pieces in there.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. But let's take this one here. I wonder if we can do some fun stuff with the transient designer as well on this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to delete this because I know it exists in the clips list.
Yeah.
And if I want it, I'll find it. So let's get out of here and find all of our stuff. And we will let's drop it here. Why not? Now let's go. It's almost like the poor man's chain rattle, you know? That's fun. I'm not going to use that reverb. I am going to send it this time because we've put it on the track every time. We don't want to show them all bad habits.
Right. So here's a good way to do a reverb.
Yeah, it's a good way. And for this, I'm just going to throw it into FabFilter Pro R2 because why not? It's fun. It's fun to use. I enjoy it. That's what we do music for, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Let's see what this guy sounds like with just this.
Ooh.
Interesting. Still super bright. Which, of course, that is a bright recording to begin with. Ducking, that could be something. Maybe a lot of ducking. Now, something that would be cool as a feature, which would be if I could control the release time of that ducking, that would be something that would be incredible that surely somebody has thought of. It may not be a thing, but if it is, tell us in the comments of it. Otherwise, you're going to make me read the manual. But let's see about that. I really do want it to be almost the side chains type of thing, which I could totally do. Or automate it. I just threw a very harsh compressor on their gain reduction. Whoa. Not doing anything crazy that I care about. Almost better without it. Let's get rid of that pop at the end, though. And let's get rid of all those, because I don't want to edit them all. Just start here. Let's find a transient designer. I'll just say... It's almost not drastic enough for what I'm wanting to do. Something just crazy.
Utter just decimation, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Let's see what we have in our modulation that we could be doing with this.
You know, I've never really found anything in Isotope Trash 2 that I've liked.
Yeah. I usually never like Trash 2. That's great. That's a good point. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah. And
like and maybe it's just I don't know how to use it, but I always feel like I'm stacking effect on effect on effect on accident.
Yeah, it's almost, I stay away from it because everything I touch seems to get really loud, really fast.
It does, and it blows your ears out.
Yes, so heed the warning. That's kind of cool. Whatever that does. Crunchy taco.
Ooh.
Whatever that is cool. I like that.
Sure,
I don't know. That's wrong with that. It kind of softened everything in a weird way. And now I'm seeing this more of as a hi-hat kind of thing, you know. So now we've created this sort of but now we need to shorten it up somehow, right? So I don't know, maybe just we take parts of this.
Mm.
It's almost kind of like a snap kind of thing.
Yep.
And honestly, maybe that is our snap. Maybe we do just take that. We say, okay, here's our snap. Here's a snap for like a... There's all sorts of things you can do to make this thicker, bigger, whatever it is. So, let's see. But I don't want to extend all that other stuff back out, but I do kind of want to see if I can extend the tail of this guy, just to see what it's going to do with some TCE. Interesting. So we've created a fart. So let's not do that. Unless you want to. It could be a bass. You could create a bass out of it.
Yeah, you could. Pitch it down and there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And something we could do, which would be fun on that reverb for that. I don't know, let's just specifically on the reverb. I think I want to pitch down the reverb itself.
Ah.
And I'm sure there's some plugins or that do that on its own. I'm just going to toss this one on there. I never used this one. That's down 24. So let's see what that did. So that's interesting. I actually did use this sort of thing in a popular mix that I did, but it was very much of, I think I used Alter Boy to pitch it down and pitch the formant.
Yeah.
And I did this low ambient 10-second long reverb in the background, and every time it triggered something, it would trigger this low swell, and I automated it out. So it was
interesting. Okay.
So there's some cool like reverb things that you can do.
It's fun.
And this actually thickened that up quite a bit too, if you hear that.
It did.
So
A-B it real quick.
Yeah. So
with and without the reverb. Did y'all hear that difference?
Very much this clicky thing versus this full, and we could take the reverb time down on it and make it just use it as like an effector of the sound.
Sure. Let us know down in the comments what you think of this. Would you do something like this? Would you think of something like this? Let's pitch down a reverb.
Yeah. That's such a fun thing. I love to do it on snares.
Yeah.
So that's snares and sometimes vocal reverbs. It can be such a cool effect. The reverb's glitching out on us. Let's take that ducking down. And since we are on a send, max out the mix.
Okay. Now, this is something I would typically go to if I was doing something in this, of like throwing a delay on that snap.
Totally.
But is that too normal?
I think it could be. Let's see. We're glitching out here with the reverb because of the Pitch 2 plugin. Want to bet, yeah. So we'll just take that off for a moment while we dial that in. And let's trim off some more. What a terrible time. Maybe that is the snap itself. Super clicky, super terrible. We could pitch that down too, as well. And just enable this guy here. Let's just go down an octave. Why not?
Yeah. There's...
That's the processing, trying to keep up with the reverb. Because we put so many on every track.
Yeah. Another reason why typically if you're mixing, you send your reverbs, your delays, your effects to a single bus, and you can route a bunch of stuff into that same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Saves your processing, like Tristan mentioned earlier.
Let's see. I do want to put something on, something a little normal in that space where I'm at. So kick, do this ambient snare. And we'll use this as a like an after snare kind of thing. Let's see what that does. Ooh. So this is now a percussion element in our track. And I'm going to turn this guy down. So yeah, right.
Interesting.
Like soloed out, it sounds awful, but in the mix can totally be something. And that's a lot of verb that's happening here. Maybe we bump that down, or we mess with the actual timing of this, because we have so much going on with it. It's like, well, maybe you do want that low end now. So maybe you do a separate that's just somehow
the pitch, and then
dialing
you
in the pitch.
separate the pitch and the reverb.
Yep. So you could send this off to the reverb after the fact as well, and then you have even more control. When you start doing all that, you start running into some weird delay compensation things when you have buses on buses on buses on buses. But you could always render it out, throw it underneath,
Sure.
Call it a day, throw it on the track, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't do that that time. So we'll take it out or move it over. So, and I'm getting tired of having to select all that, so I'll just consolidate that guy and just do something like that. There we go. Yeah. So we've added an extra percussion element to that chorus, so that makes it a little bit bigger. And let's see where we're at here. So yeah, so this will only happen once in a blue moon. So we've got just that'll be that. And I can't see the grid lines. One thing I complain about Pro Tools is the grid lines not being able to be seen too well. And let's see. So a lot of cool stuff. Let's see if we can let's find like a stadium clap or something massive. I almost said massive, but now I'm curious. Massive clap. Let's see if anything comes up for that. Don't Google that. Well, not what I'm looking for right off. So let's just do stadium clap. Let's see. Like those super ambient claps, right? We could always just find something, we can create this, find a clap, but that takes a lot of time. That's kind of fun. I kind of like the ambient, less big kind of, that's kind of nice. Let's do that. I do like, I use the stadium claps quite a bit, and just things that nobody would notice are there. Just as like a pad, a kind of like white noise, bigger kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Where some people add white noise to their snares, I'll sometimes just add like a stadium clap type thing. So that's it's always a fun thing to do. And let's see. There we go. Where that other loop is hitting right there is where I'm going to throw this guy in.
Interesting. Okay.
So. Let's see. Kind of want it to be higher and a little bit more of a white noisy type thing. So, I mean, instead of finding something different, I can just
pitch it up.
Yeah, super simple. I'm just going to take the two I already added. Let's say +6, kind of see where it sits.
So as you've noticed, probably as you're watching this, we did a ton of experimentation, and we're still doing some. But at a certain point, a song is still a song. And all of these elements have to kind of come together in a cohesive manner. But how you treat the individual elements is, where so much creativity can be embedded from the side of an engineer. An artist may not really care whether you pitched up a clap or not. But, if you're the one making the song, that's cool stuff that you get to impart your sound on. No matter what that ends up sounding like, a song is still a song.
Song's
you
still
know,
a song.
structure's still the same structure that it's been.
Yep.
So,
And I think where we started, it sounded really bad to begin with.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like slowly, we had to peel some things away and move some things around and kind of mingle and mix and make things work. It's almost the goal of like, we have to make this work.
Yes.
So you can take things to say, like as a good practice thing is like, find something that you just think is awful and say, well, I have to make this work. So let's put it in here and make it work. And that's such a cool way of like, well, what if I pitch it up or down? Or what if I stretch it? What if I, do all these different things? And, we haven't done too much saturation and just destroying things like we said we were going to. So maybe we find something else to do that with.
Right, maybe we do. It's a lot like painters. Sometimes when they're in school or training, they'll be given a task. It's like, okay, paint this thing with 2 colors. Yeah. What can you do with 2 colors? How can you mix and blend those 2 colors into new colors? Or, same thing with graphic designers. Same thing with, songwriting. Oftentimes you're told, hey, you get 3 chords, you get 2 chords, make a song. When you constrain yourself, you really push the limits of what you're able to do with those few elements. And that's what we're doing with this.
Oh, yeah. This is something that whenever I get into any sort of writer's block or just the mood isn't right, I just can't do what I feel like I need to do, I will revert back to something like this where I say, well, let's just find or create the worst thing I could possibly imagine. Since I can't create something I want to create, let's just go back and create something else that's totally stupid and different, and it ends up being something cool, fun, and just exciting. So sometimes you do have to step away from your other projects just to kind of do something like this. Yeah. And it gives you this unique perspective of like, man, I would have never done that. We have to really practice creativity sometimes. Yeah. Outside of just doing and being creative. Yeah. So it's a cool thing that I've started to incorporate into my workflow, and it's been super helpful.
I like that. It's stretching those limits of what you know and what you're used to. It's kind of like, trying to jump into a new genre, right? Something you've never worked in. Oh, yeah. How can you do that if you don't try? Yeah. And then how can you pull, say, if for some reason we wanted to pull funk into this, how could you do that if you've never tried a little bit of funk or you don't listen to it? Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah. You pull elements of different things, blend those together, experiment, try things, and a lot of it's not going to work. Like, if you've probably noticed a ton of the stuff we've tried, and we're like, cool, but no. Yeah. That destroys it, but not in a way that's going to be constructive for the song as an end product. Right. Right.
And if the goal is to make it sound bad, we've achieved that. We've certainly made things sound bad, and I think we've turned it around in a sense of this chorus. And let's listen to it one more time. Let's see where we're at with it. And I'm gonna give it a little pre-roll into it. Kind of a cool thing.
It's fun. Yeah. It's certainly different than anything that I've personally made.
Super different.
if you're listening to this and as an artist, and this is the type of thing that you would sing on or that you would rap over or add your element to, let us know down in the comments. And also, by the way, make sure you go check out this guy right here. I'll drop all of his socials down there in the description. This is cool stuff, though. Yeah. I'm always nervous about starting something new with someone, and especially like saying like, oh man, we're going to just make something terrible. Yeah. And, we didn't really use many chords. I pulled a lot of loops in, but we made this our own. We made this our own thing. And even from that original loop that we pulled in here, right? Look at all the red lines, all these things that are saying, this is a problem. It doesn't like that. This is not good. It's saying that it's going to sound bad. Yeah. Can you pull up the original version of that pre-time? Absolutely. I wonder if I can just pull it up from the clip list here. Boom, that looks like that'll be it. And I'll create a track for it. We'll just do that real quick. Take that EQ off. All right, so to hear what this sounded like from the beginning till now, this is where we started. What? Oh, what? All right, and let's roll it from the top.
So let's see. Yeah, a little pre-roll. Yeah,
Just like that, we have a song.
yeah,
We have a song.
nearly there. We could work on this for another 7 days and do
Yeah.
just the whole thing. So
Yeah. Who would you bring in if you could get a dream vocalist? Who would you bring in for something like this?
for something like this, I think it would be I don't know if I'm looking at this song specifically. I think it'd be really cool to have like I'm gonna look her up real quick because it's such a Sophie Powers. If I could get
Sophie
Sophie Powers
Powers,
on it,
okay.
because it's such an
Okay.
interesting genre of like these like trashy drums.
Yeah.
With like these like hyper pop elements. I think it could be like a cool thing.
Yeah.
I think I would have to put some more work in to get it there.
I mean, this isn't a fully complete song, but this is a verse and chorus. This is 75% of the structure of most modern songs. I mean, what's left? If we wanted to add a bridge, if we wanted to add a pre-chorus, those are
for
things
sure.
we easily could do. But even as is, there's a lot of people out there, and rightfully so, copy paste, and you have an entire song right there.
Oh yeah. 4 chords and a dream.
4 chords in a dream. You get the right lyrics over this, you got a hit, right?
That's it.
Man, this was fun.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought about this. Have you done anything like this? I mean, first time for me sitting here with you, just going for the gnarliest sounds we could do and make and turn it into something cool.
Super cool. Thanks for having me, man.
Dude, thank you.
Thanks for coming over.
If you want this guy to work on your songs with you, all of his contact information is down there in the description below. If you want him to mix your music, this guy does amazing mixes. What's the next big project that you're working on?
Next big project.
Personally or professionally?
Right now it's doing more productions, doing more of this. Spending more time to make music, I think. So it's
I mean, that's the dream,
cool.
right?
It's the dream.
It's the dream and you're living it. Had a great time.
Absolutely. Let's do it again.
We'll have to choose another genre and start from the top.
Next time, polka.
You know what? I'm down. I'm down.
Okay. And mix it with 3 other genres.
Yeah, polka,
Do,
gypsy jazz,
gypsy jazz.
and
Screamo.
screamo.
Yeah, I don't know.
Awesome. Well, thanks, man.
Absolutely.
I had so much fun. If you had fun, make sure you like, hit subscribe. Let us know what genre you think should be the 3rd genre or a 4th. And until next time, had fun.